First-person shooters are such a staple of modern-day gaming that I felt like I should venture back to one of its pioneers. I know, Wolfenstein may have set the scene, but Doom fully embraced the 3D environments and the firepower. BJ Blazkowicz walked so the Doom Marine could sprint around on roller skates. In Doom, you shoot demons. In Wolfenstein, you shoot, well, they're also demons, but a different kind of demon. Gone is the castle, your arena is now Mars and actual hell. The ante has well and truly been upped in an orchestra of gore and gunpowder. The objective of Doom is simple: run around, shoot the demons, find the relevant key cards for the coloured doors, solve some simple puzzles by flipping some switches, and hot-tail it out of there. To begin with, the objective for me was to balance ammo, health, and not get lost or die. Once I got the knack of the relatively simple controls, I was flying around wiping the grin off a cacodemon's face with a shotgun in no time. It's not a deep game by any stretch of the imagination, but who cares? Your one task is to slay demons with a big gun. Shooting on one axis disorientated me initially after being indoctrinated by the twin-stick free-flow movement of modern-day first-person shooters. You can only aim on the X-axis, but thankfully, regardless of where the enemies are, the bullets do find their way, which is good as the levels still have a decent amount of verticality. You've still got to aim, pick the correct weapon, and always stay on your toes. Play it like Doom has always been sound advice whilst playing other first-person shooters with a tongue-in-cheek sense of leniency. But here, you realise the origin of the phrase. Enemies are ridiculously plentiful. You cannot stand still. You can't sneak up and flank them. You can't even hide behind corners to pick targets off. You just gotta keep moving and keep shooting. Rip and tear until it is done. It's brilliant because it always keeps you in the thick of the action and gives you a good reason to unleash a full clip. The entire package is great. Levels are reasonably sprawling, allowing for some substantial traversal and minor exploration. Secret doors allow you to find more ammo, health and armour, better weapons and power-ups. I especially like the Berserk mode that allows you to just fatally sucker punch enemies in the face. The weapons all feel chunky and solid. The chunk chick power of the shotgun is never not satisfying. The BFG 9000 is as iconic as it is deadly, and the chainsaw being a melee weapon has always tickled me. Not in the same way it tickles demons though. I like the enemy variety. Boss encounters are a real test of skill, and overall it's got this good vibe between the futuristic Mars base and the foreboding hellscapes. And the music. Doom's soundtrack is phenomenal with its searing guitars, ominous synths and pounding drums, obviously taking inspiration from some of the best metal and hard rock bands of the era. If you're fighting your way through hell, it has to sound like it. Doom ticks a lot of boxes that we take for granted as modern day gamers. It's quite basic in terms of how it functions, but that makes its gameplay feel a lot more purer. The only secondary objectives are to find all the secrets and to maybe beat the level as quickly as possible. Of course, the forward-facing sprites and rudimentary audio show signs of its age, but actually sprinting around each level and loading bullets into some angered beastie just glossed right over that for some reason. At this point in history, Doom has been released and ported to anything and everything. DOS computers, the Atari Jaguar, the SNES, PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, Sega Saturn, Android and iOS, 8th generation consoles.
And that's still not all.
Digital cameras, ATMs, thermostats, calculators. I'm pretty sure somewhere out there there's a hack to play it on the central infotainment screen in our Skoda. Part of me knows that it's because mechanically Doom is incredibly simple, but I like to think that it was developed with accessibility and availability in mind. You're never more than 3 meters away from a device that can play Doom. I played through on my Switch because I really like the juxtaposition of sitting in a Dobby's Garden Centre cafe slaughtering monsters. Sorry Sandra and Janet, your conversation about chrysanthemums has nothing against my plasma gun. Sure, the modern day first person shooter has come a long way since the early 90s. Imitation definitely is the best form of flattery since it inspired and influenced the likes of Heretic, Duke Nukem, Quake, that weird Christian one, and even Doom itself. I think a lot of games owe so much to Doom, and that's why it's important.